Let's stay on Capitol Hill right now. He's the chairman of the House committee whose work affects every American when it comes to taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment benefits. But the powerful Congressman Charlie Rangel is fighting scandalous claims, and that has a prime political opponent circling the waters. Let's go to CNN's Mary Snow. She's joining us from New York with more. What's going on, Mary?
Well, Wolf, with the House ethics probe hanging over New York Democratic Congressman Charlie Rangel, a one-time aide now says he plans to challenge Rangel in next year's Democratic primary.
I'm proud of you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
It's here in Harlem where 40-year-old Vince Morgan was introduced to politics working for Congressman Charles Rangel, serving as his campaign director in 2002. Now, with an ethics investigation of Rangel expanding, this bank executive wants to return to politics by unseating his former boss.
Do you feel uneasy in any way about running against someone you once worked for?
No, because the time is right to do it, and I'm the type of person who's going to be respectful of, the person that I hope to succeed.
And when Morgan took us to his makeshift campaign office, I can't help but notice the picture right over here in this bookcase.
Yes. That's just a great picture of him, and that's really sort of what I think of him. He's a good guy.
That praise comes amid intensified scrutiny of Rangel, chairman of the powerful House Ways and Means Committee. The House Ethics Committee is now looking into Rangel's alleged failure to disclose hundreds of thousands of dollars of assets. He is admitted to failing to pay taxes on $75,000 in income from a rental property he owns in the Dominican Republic. Rangel has said he's the victim of a smear campaign by some in the media. It could seem an opening for Morgan, but he sees the race being shaped differently.
It'll be a transition that won't be based on negativity. It'll really be a transition based on something positive about bringing people together.
But how could it not be a transition based on negativity?
Well, because I think that the time is just of the essence where if I was Mr. Rangel, I would probably be thinking about, my future after politics.
That's not the way Congressman Rangel sees it. His office said he was unavailable for an interview, but sent a statement about his district saying, "I have never taken for granted the trust they put in me to represent them. So I plan to campaign vigorously as I have for every election. I will continue to do all that I can to create jobs, provide access to affordable health care, and improve education, because I know my constituents are counting on me." Rangel first won election in 1970, defeating incumbent Adam Clayton Powell Jr., whose name is still remembered in Harlem. Powell lost after 26 years in Congress after his own series of ethics investigations. Any comparisons?
Obviously, there's an easy sort of comparison to make between the two. I think the biggest comparison to make is they were both legends, and no one is ever going to take that away from either man.
Now, since Rangel's taken office in 1971, he's been so popular in his district, he's only faced a handful of primary challengers, the last one coming in 2004. Wolf?
I guess a lot will depend on what this ethics committee decides to do, but a lot of folks in New York, I take it, Mary, you're saying don't bet against Charlie Rangel. Is that what you're hearing?
Absolutely. And even, Vince Morgan, when we spoke to him, he realizes that he has a stiff challenge in taking on this race because a number of Democrats will say that he still is very popular here.
Mary Snow, thanks very much.